Greetings, welcome back to Black Bear News. Please remember to like the video and make sure you're still subscribed. More in climate change reality. I don't think people are making this up, although, you know, maybe we'd like them to. We'd like it to all be a ruse. It was all a joke. It was all a big joke. We didn't mean to scare you guys. But anyways, the world's thickest mountain glacier is finally melting. And climate change is, well, 100% to blame. Because I don't know. Why else would it be melting? Pole shift. The inner Earth is heating up. That's another new one. The core of the Earth is getting hotter. What other reason? Grand solar minimum? Nope. That actually wouldn't make any sense. Although, you know, I'm sure there's some pretzel logic involved in, you know, why the glaciers are retreating and yet we're still in a grand solar minimum or something like that. Massive and meaty, the Taku Glacier in Alaska's Juneau icefield was a poster child for the frozen places holding their own against climate change. As the largest of 20 major glaciers in the region and one of the single thickest glaciers in the world, it measures 4,860 feet from surface to floor. That's massive. Taku had been on demonstrably gaining mass and spreading farther into the nearby Taku River for nearly half a century. While all of its neighboring glaciers shrank, now it appears these glory days are over. This is bad news. Glaciers are melting around the world, in Europe, Asia, Africa. This is happening everywhere. While the shrinking is subtle for now, the results are nonetheless shocking, according to glaciologist Maury Pelto, who has studied the Juneau icefield for 3 decades. Not only have these signs of retreat arrived about 80 years ahead of schedule. Yeah, there's that old 2100 problem. We thought this was going to happen in 2100. So, you know, things that were supposed to be happening in the later this century are happening now. So does that give you any concept of the rate of change? I hope that it does. I'm going to link this below. Move on to Mother Nature does a mic drop. Venice City Council chamber floods minutes after members vote down climate crisis amendment. From the You Can't Make This Stuff Up department. So they rejected a resolution addressing climate crisis, and then the chamber's filled with water. Yeah, this is how serious we are taking the problem. In most cases. And then just moving on to a few quick items. Iraqi protesters bring out lions to counter police dogs. This is on Reddit, and there isn't a lot of context for it's just a picture. And somebody's saying that this is what's happening, but there's no other information on there. But I just like this picture. That's pretty awesome. It's got a lion on a leash. So yeah. F your dogs, police, we got lions. Moving on, it's warmer in Alaska than Alabama today. This is from a few days ago, from Nick Humphrey. Again, very loopy jet stream, and the polar vortex is just now so kind of predominant and prevalent. It just is all the time. So this happens, you know, every year now, and they don't really say the word polar vortex much anymore. It's just not quite the, oh my God, polar vortex. But this is a polar vortex. It's the same. It's the polar cold leaking out of the Arctic, where it's supposed to be really cold, and it's actually warmer in the Arctic. This is happening over and over and over again. And this is a sign that we're not in a good place. 34 degrees in Birmingham, 37 in Anchorage. And lastly, this graph that also from Facebook, Shirahana Yumi posted this graph, and this sums up quite a bit. Land atmosphere heating here in the orange, this much. This is measured in joules. Ocean heating in blue. If that isn't panic inducing, I don't know what is. The problem is that when the heat comes out of the oceans, in a El Nino event, or just if they just want to come on out, if the heat wants to just come on out, who knows when that will happen, when there's a state change in the oceans holding the heat, and they, you know, the heat has nowhere else to go, so it comes out of the oceans, and then the orange starts looking like the blue. Do you think that will happen by 2100 or sooner? What's your bet, guys? That's all I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for your eyes, your ears, and your conscience. If you would like to support this channel, you can do so at the links below. Until next time,